Hi guys, this is Igor from Australian Crypto Talk, and today I just want to talk about this whole cryptocurrency market meltdown. Is Bitcoin really in a bubble? Is it about to pop? Is everything going back to zero? So let's have a think about this one. So for those of you who are new in the cryptocurrency space, and when I say new, is probably the you joined the space in the past few months. For you, that may look like a pretty bad day. So if you go back to coin market cap and look at all the coins, most of them are double digit losses. If you look at it, uh, and if we flip the Bitcoin switch to have a look the relative price in Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin is holding or is one of the least affected cryptocurrencies actually. It has gone down a lot, but the alts went down even further. And this is kind of all expected. Like you can't expect market go up all the time. So for those of you who are new, this is not unusual. The corrections happen all the time. And in fact, we probably had like 4 or 5 major corrections in 2017. So if I look at the price now, it's around 10 $10,000 US dollars, and it's kind of breaking the channel at the moment. It's going down and further, so I expect it to go probably to around $8,000 mark, maybe 7.5, because that's where this is really strong support, and it was never tested. This current level around 10,000 was already tested, so double bottoms or double tops don't really work that well in cryptocurrency space. So if we look at the history, actually before we go into history, let's understand why it's going down. First of all, we had just enormous um, rise of all the alts in the past month. So Ethereum, Ripple, especially Ripple, it went up by like oh, 10,000%. Look at this rise. This is just enormous. It's just ridiculous rise. And then you look at, and Ripple is not as bad because it's been in this space for a while. But if you look at some of the other ones like Tron, Tron is just a new one that just came out and it went up like crazy. It went from like 30 satoshis all the way to 16,000 satoshis. This is unsustainable. This is just stupidly high gains. This is not sustainable. So this is one of the reasons. The next reason is the whole bunch of news that came out recently, and it's kind of it's similar to what happened back in October when there was a series of news. So almost every week we would have some really bad news coming out, and the price was struggling, and then there was a news about Chinese exchanges being banned, and that's when it really tumbled from like around like $5,000 all the way to like 3,000 or even 2,800. And now it happened kind of in a similar fashion just lately. So we had the news about Koreans. So I've got it somewhere here. Yeah, so that Koreans are gonna be banning all the cryptocurrency exchanges. Then it turned out that they're not. They were just thinking about doing it. Then there's another news comes out about China trying to chase all the Bitcoin miners. Then there was this Warren Buffett coming out saying that he doesn't understand cryptocurrencies, that it's all mirage and all that. Then there was a JP Morgan coming out saying that governments can really regulate it. And like today, we saw that China is going to restrict all the cryptocurrency centralized exchanges, and also clamp down all the OTCs, over-the-counter services. So they all come at the same time, all those news. So there's a big fear in the market, and a lot of the people who got into Bitcoin at really high prices, they really get scared and they sell. which is the wrong way to do. So basically what you want to be doing is actually buying now. What you want to do is actually start buying. Don't go all in. Buy at different levels. So let's say around 10k and below, and you can slowly scale in until it reaches around 8k or 7.5 if it reaches that level, because it's really hard to catch the dip. So you want to slowly scale in. If I look at this chart, I can see there's the RSI, which is Relative Strength Index, shows me that's really the Bitcoin is already oversold. This is on a 4-hour frame. If I switch to 1-day frame, it's not as bad, but it's getting there. It's getting into this overbought area. Still trading. It's actually broke that channel, and it's going down even further. There's also this dead cross that happened a few days ago, so it's not looking really good. So what I expect to happen is it will go down all the way to around 8k, 7.5k mark, and then it will bounce off that and start moving up, and the market will recover. But that might take a while. That might take a week or two. So we'll see. And also the volume is picking up, which is good. So that means there'll be a bit more. There'll be more sales happening. But what I wanted to show you is if we go back to, let's say, November or October last year. Sorry, I just had some difficulties adjusting my chart. So let's move. So I just switched it to 4-hour time frame, and let's move back to probably October, around October, November this last year. So if you look at it, it looks very similar. It just went down a bit, then it went up, then it went down a bit, and then it started dipping until it reached really low levels. So it went all the way from 7,500 all the way to 5,000. It was a fairly big dip. And if I zoom out, I look at it now, it doesn't look that big, but back in the day, it looked similar to this. It looked like it was a very, very scary dip. So I can see how that can go even lower to around like 7.5, 8k level before bouncing off it. And then the same thing we could say around September. If you look at that time frame there, if I just make it bigger, look how scary that one was as well. Oh, sorry, just keep going. It keeps jumping to the wrong time frame. Yeah, look at this one. Went from around 5,000, yeah, around 5,000, all the way to 3,000. It's such a big dip. If we look at it now, it looks quite scary, but if we zoom out, if we keep zooming out, it doesn't look as scary because the price is much higher. So what I anticipate will happen, it will go up, and that dip will actually look much smaller as well, and then we'll have another rise. Maybe, who knows, maybe we'll go to 50k. I think the next level would be, if we look at the Fibonacci extension, it will be around 27 or something, 28k. So we'll probably go up there, maybe even higher, and that dip will look like that or like that. It won't look as scary, and the next dip will be even scarier than this one. So what you can do is basically, if you've got any cash lying around and you've got some spare cash, I mean, don't invest anything you cannot afford to lose. But if you've got some extra money, just start scaling in at these levels and maybe wait for the dip till 8k. That's where you go all the way in. And if you don't have any cash, don't panic sell. Just wait it out. Just close the browser take some time off and just relax. It will go up most likely. Obviously anything can happen, and you know the Bitcoin price can tumble a lot, but it can go back to zero. Who knows? Nobody knows what will happen. But all I'm saying is that if you look at the history, there's been so many of those dips, and they happen all the time, and it's actually good that they happen. If those dips didn't happen, we would just have a huge parabolic rise and a big bubble burst. But because of those dips, we shake out all the weak hands, so all the weak hands that join the market, all the noobs, they kind of sell, and we keep this market much stronger than it would be without those dips. And it kind of gives Bitcoin a bit of a breather to consolidate and go up even higher. So yeah, just stay strong, hold your Bitcoin, don't panic sell, please don't panic sell, because if it was a bubble, if it would burst, it would happen so much faster. And you know, you probably all heard about this BitConnect news. So if I look at hit BTC, and let's look at BitConnect, which is this one, I think. Look at this one, what happened. So we'll just look at, yeah, forward frame is fine. Actually, let's look at USD value. So it went from $350 all the way to $10. This is the bubble burst. Or in fact, that was upon the pyramid scheme collapse. But this is what happens, and that happened from 6 p.m. to about 6 a.m. So in a matter of a couple of hours, it dropped from $350 all the way to even five. No, shit, that's very low. $8. So this is how the bubble will burst. It's not gonna go slowly. The worst that will happen to Bitcoin, it will probably enter the bear market, and it will probably stay in the bear market for a little bit, and then it will go higher. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.